Okay, so my name is Melissa, and am my hometown is St. Louis, Missouri. It's in the middle of America,
Yes.
not too far from Chicago.
Hmm.
Um, and currently, though, I am living in Albania in Southeast Europe.
Albania.
Yes.
Okay.
um, I have lived in Albania for about a year and a half.
About a year and a half.
Albania.
Hmm.
Okay. Um, and I don't know. I enjoy swimming. I enjoy traveling. I've traveled a lot,
Mm.
and also cooking and baking, I guess, and spending time with friends. And I have five nieces that I was very close to in America, and I loved being with them.
So,
Yeah.
the it's a basic question. So, why did you move to Albania from US?
Yes. Well, actually, I only came for my friend's wedding.
Mm.
Um, and yes, my friend got married. I had done some volunteer work
Mm.
with Albanian immigrants and refugees
Mm-hmm.
in St. Louis
Mm-hmm.
through a variety of time, and because of that, I started learning the language a little bit, and of
Mm.
course, made a variety of friends.
Mm.
And so, one of my friends invited me to come to Albania for her wedding,
Okay.
and I thought, well, this would be a fantastic opportunity,
Wow.
and it was amazing. And I planned on spending a few weeks in Albania, and then while I was over here in Europe to travel to some other places and visit other friends in Europe.
Right.
And but the Albanian people are so hospitable and
Mm.
kind,
Mm.
and they kept saying, "Oh, please don't go," or "When are you coming back?" And as I was traveling in Europe, they kept contacting me and saying, if you would come back and stay here for a while, we'll help
Mm.
you find a place, or you can stay with us until you find something.
Mm.
And there just was just some different things that kind of spoke to me, and I thought, this is a good opportunity that probably might not happen again. And so
Wow.
I decided
No,
to
very
just
exciting.
leave Europe. Like, instead, like, my last place was Norway, and I just decided to fly from Norway back to Albania and start living here instead of going back to America.
Oh, it's very cool. So the I'm not familiar with the location of Albania, but the and historically, is that Albania was a part of the Russia?
No,
No.
um, no, they were communist. Let's see here. Let me send you a link
Mm-hmm.
to a map of Europe.
Okay.
And Albania, let's see here, on this map, it's a little pink country. It's just above Greece and across from Italy,
Ah,
kind
it
of Mediterranean.
like on the south region
Hmm.
of
Yes,
the
it's Southeast
Europe,
Europe.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I sent you that link, and the history is very, yeah, they have a very difficult history, but more recently, say like in the last century, they had gained freedom. They had been ruled by the Turks for 500 years,
Okay.
by the Turkish people.
Mm.
Um, and they were their own people, but just that Turkey was ruling them, kind of like Britain did India,
Right.
for a long time.
Yes.
And for 500 years. And in 1912, they gained their independence from that. But then in, like, I think it was the 30s, they got a very strict dictator,
Mm.
Enver Hoxha, and he kind of cut them off from the world. And he didn't allow any imports. He didn't
Mm-hmm.
allow any communication with the outside world.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, they became communist. And for a short time, he had maybe a little short friendship with Russia or with China, but it was very short. And mostly they were very independent and closed.
Yeah.
And and then they gained freedom again in the early 90s. I think around 1992 they got democracy.
Okay,
Hmm.
so the basically the short history of independent from since 1992, 1995, is it?
Uh-huh.
1992,
1992. Hmm.
1992. Okay.
Yes. So about 25 years they've had
Okay.
democracy.
Yes, it's kind of new countries and against Japan. So more than the maybe 2000. I'm sorry, 1000. The
Yes.
history of Japan, the
Yes.
independently, of course, in the Japan is an island. So nobody, sorry,
Hmm.
no country touch and the exactly directly to move to Japan. So everybody try to ship or air, so we can visit,
Yes.
yeah, Japan here.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. St. Louis.
All centuries.
For a long time,
Mm-hmm.
we had the four major American car manufacturers all
Right.
had plants and
Yes.
manufacturing plants in St. Louis. Chrysler, Ford, GM,
Mm.
and one other one too. Chrysler and Dodge, GM,
Mm.
Ford.
For
Anyway, I
anyway,
forget. But that
yes.
was kind of a big major part of
Mm-hmm.
our economy,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, just maybe even, I guess you could say even the culture. But I forget the year. Was it 2008 or
Mm-hmm.
maybe a little bit before?
Mm-hmm.
But there was this big crisis with the auto industry,
Right.
and I think that most of those plants closed
Yes.
in St. Louis. And I know that, like for Chrysler, for sure, some of them cut back completely, but then a lot of them closed,
Mm.
and it was had a very devastating effect, yeah, on our city.
So
Yeah.
did you actually see that the situation in the 2008 the financial crisis and the people
Yes.
uh,
Yes.
lost their jobs and they're around so missing
and
in
and
the
then
future.
and then as a result they lost their houses too, because so many people just lived from paycheck to paycheck, and without their job they couldn't pay for their mortgage,
Their
and
mortgage.
then the banks foreclosed on their homes, and it was a disaster. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And also it affected the construction business too. People of course were not able to buy homes, and
Mm.
yeah. Hmm.
It's very sad.
uh,
Yes.
yeah, it was a
Yeah.
terrible time
Yeah,
of
it's a
history.
big crisis, big financial crisis was going to affect the Japan too. So
Hmm.
I'm also had affected by this acts and the crisis too. So
Okay.
2009, I was fired.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
because of the
Wow.
financial
Okay.
crisis from US.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
big,
Uh-huh.
huge, and impact at them, right? Yeah,
Uh-huh.
tough
Uh-huh.
situation.